Could you believe that James Bond was born in Lisbon? The idea that Ian Fleming and Duško Popov met in Lisbon and that Popov directly inspired James Bond is a popular myth, but it's more of a romanticized version of history. Fleming never explicitly confirmed that Popov was the sole inspiration for Bond, though he did draw on various real-life spies and his own experiences to create the character. But who were Ian Fleming and Duško Popov in real life? Ian Fleming, the British author best known for creating James Bond, spent time in Lisbon during World War II while working for British naval intelligence. Stationed there in 1941, Fleming was involved in espionage operations, including Operation Golden Eye, which aimed to monitor Nazi activities in Spain and Portugal and prepare for potential Axis invasions of Gibraltar. Lisbon, a neutral hub during the war, was a hotbed of spies and intrigue, providing Fleming with rich inspiration for his future Bond novels, particularly Casino Royale, which featured a Lisbon-connected plot. His experiences in observing double agents, clandestine meetings, and high-stakes gambling helped shape the thrilling, shadowy world of 007. Duško Popov, a Yugoslav Serbian double agent who worked for both the British MI6 and the Abwehr, Nazi Germany's military intelligence, was in Lisbon during World War II as part of his espionage activities, using the city's neutral status to facilitate his covert operations. Under the codename Tricycle, given by MI6, Popov played a crucial role in feeding disinformation to the Germans while gathering intelligence for the Allies, often meeting his handlers in Lisbon's casinos and luxury hotels, most notably the Palácio Hotel, where he gambled large sums to maintain his Playboy cover. His daring exploits, including a near exposure by Ian Fleming, then a naval intelligence officer, reportedly inspired elements of James Bond, particularly the fictional spy's lavish lifestyle and high-stakes gambling. Popov's time in Lisbon also included involvement in the double-cross system, a British deception strategy that helped ensure the success of the D-Day invasion. Popov's flamboyant lifestyle, gambling habits, and daring missions certainly fit the Bond archetype, making it easy to see why the connection is often made. But what if they really met? The following acts are just a depiction of how it would have been. Enjoy the fiction. Act 1. The Double Agent and the Writer. Picture this: Lisbon, 1941. The world is at war, and neutral Portugal is the playground of spies, smugglers, and scoundrels. Among them is Duško Popov, a Yugoslav Serbian double agent working for both the British MI6 and the Nazi German Abwehr. With his charm, wit, and love for the finer things in life, Popov was the original 007, before 007 even existed. Enter Ian Fleming, a British naval intelligence officer with a knack for storytelling. Sent to Lisbon to observe Popov's operations, Fleming was less about martinis and more about taking notes. Little did he know, his time in Lisbon would inspire the world's most famous spy. Act 2. Casino Royale, but make it in Lisbon. One evening, Popov strolled into the Estoril Casino, a hotspot for Europe's elite and spies alike. Dressed to the nines, he sat down at the baccarat table and proceeded to gamble an eye-watering sum of money. Fleming, watching from the sidelines, was both impressed and horrified. Popov's mission? To impress his German handlers who believed he was laundering money for the Nazis. In reality, he was funneling intelligence to the Allies. Fleming, meanwhile, was furiously scribbling in his notebook, later using this scene as inspiration for Casino Royale, the first James Bond novel. Popov makes his bet by saying, "I'm all in." Fleming, thinking to himself, "This is either the most brilliant spycraft I've ever seen or the most expensive midlife crisis." Act 3. The Spy Who Loved Martinis and Portuguese Pastry. Between high-stakes gambling and dodging German agents, Popov and Fleming found time to enjoy Lisbon's culinary delights. Over a plate of pastéis de nata and a warm cup of coffee, the Portuguese way, the two men swapped stories of espionage and intrigue. Popov regaled Fleming with tales of his exploits, including how he once smuggled microfilm in his toothpaste tube. Fleming, in turn, shared his dream of writing spy novels. Little did Popov know he was the muse for a literary legend. Popov asks, "So you're saying I am the inspiration for your spy character?" Fleming answers, "Well, I'll have to tweak a few details. For starters, Bond won't lose at baccarat. And to make it less you, if a film is made out of my book, I would like the main character to be played by a Scottish man yet to be found, and not a Yugoslav like you." Act 4. Cold War Reunions. Years later, as the Cold War heated up, Popov and Fleming crossed paths again in Lisbon. By now, Fleming was a best-selling author, and Popov had retired from espionage, mostly. Over glasses of Madeira wine, they reminisce about the old days. Popov joked that he deserved royalties for inspiring Bond, while Fleming countered that Popov owed him for making him look good in print. Popov, "You know, Ian, your Bond is a bit of a show-off. I was much more subtle." Fleming, "Subtle? You once crashed a Nazi party wearing a monocle." Epilogue, Legends of Lisbon. Duško Popov and Ian Fleming may have been very different men, but their time in Lisbon left an indelible mark on history. Popov's daring exploits inspired Fleming's iconic character, while Fleming's novels immortalized the glamour and danger of espionage. So, the next time you watch a James Bond movie or visit Lisbon, raise a glass to the real-life spy and the writer who turned his adventures into legend. After all, without Popov and Fleming, the world would be a little less shaken and a lot less stirred. Although the script of this particular video is based on a fictional story, but based on true events, the video scripts produced for Eclipsed Past are thoroughly researched and based on true, but maybe not known, events and trends. Any information presented is easily cross-checked by precise research by the viewer. Audio and video are AI-generated. This channel is a one-man show. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, and stay tuned.